This episode of QB Lifestyle is sponsored by Evermore Artesian Water. Comes from a rare, single source protected deep in the earth, delivering a fresh taste and all-natural high alkalinity every time. Evermore Artesian Water is from a rare, protected single source in the USA, all-natural alkalinity with a pH range of 8.8 to 9.1. Consistently smooth taste, untouched by modern man, and natural electrolytes. What's up, everybody? This is Damian Williams. I'm here with Chris Parsons to do the 4th episode of QB Lifestyle. Man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Appreciate you, man.
For sure, man. So, it's been a long journey since we met.
Facts.
At the 3D QB camp, Texas camp. Kind of hit it off there. And, we made, a lot of progress in your development since, with training and development, the mental performance, all of it. So,
No doubt.
just excited to have you on here, man. Excited to have you in town. We're getting to it right now. So,
Facts.
just tell us, some of what you went through this season, your last season at Mississippi State as a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, so was at Mississippi State, ended up signing out of high school. Learned a lot while I was down there. I was able to, while I was getting recruited there, I was recruited by Coach Leach's staff. May he rest in peace, and I was able to learn the air raid system. And then going into my freshman year with the new staff coming in with Kevin Barbay, I was able to learn more of a pro-style type of system. And then with the change of staffs, I was able to come in this year and learn from Coach Levy. And so thankful for my time there in Starkville. I learned a lot. I grew a lot as a player, as a person. And I'm really excited for this next step, transferring into Austin Peay, getting the opportunity to play some football, man, and have an opportunity to lead a team. So extremely excited. The main reason why I'm even down here right now, training, getting in work with you so we can be ready once that time comes. So that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah, so, for the people who don't know, man, just explain, what life is like in Starkville.
Yeah.
What are the people like?
Yeah, really hometown kind of feel, college atmosphere. Everyone knows everyone. And so, I even had family in Starkville. So once I committed there, I knew I was going to have a situation where, it was going to be pretty much the closest thing to home. My grandparents live a mile off the campus. I live less than a mile from where they stayed. And just being there, I found a church home and was able to, really be in the community and build relationships that, I feel like will last me even after I'm done playing football. So really big fan base, obviously the cowbells and things like that. It was a fun experience, being able to go out there and suit up on Saturdays and things like that. So definitely grateful for my time in Starkville, and it was a very helpful 2 years of my life, and I'm really thankful for that.
Cool, man. So you go to Mississippi State.
Yep.
2 years, grind it out. Freshman year, true freshman year.
Yep.
You get to start against Texas A&M.
Yep.
Bring us through that. The week preparing for that.
Yep.
I know you had some adversity leading up into that.
Yep.
With your hand, and then kind of explain to us, what you learned through going through that game and also that week of preparation.
Yeah. So the week before we had played Kentucky. Started quarterback was hurt. The 2 quarterback was playing. I was the 3 guy at the time, and I was also battling a thumb injury at the time. But just working hard, rehabbing, just trying to find a way to make sure I was available just in case I got an opportunity to play. In the Kentucky game, coaches decided to go with me starting the 4th quarter, and I got to get some playing time and things like that. Did
so
some
wait,
things. Was a
just a couple weeks before you get this opportunity, you have surgery on your thumb?
Yeah, so 2 weeks before that, Thursday walkthrough, throwing in the walkthrough for the scout team, throw a deep pass, hit my thumb on the helmet. Didn't think it was that serious. I thought I had just jammed it during practice, so I kept throwing throughout practice, just battling through it. Thankfully, you know, Thomas, he wanted to make sure I was good, so ended up getting a X-ray. Didn't look as bad, but then they ended up getting me an MRI the next morning. And so we had another walkthrough that Friday. They didn't let me throw the ball or anything like that, but after the walkthrough, I met with Thomas, and he told me that I had tore my UCL in my thumb. And so if you look at my thumb now, it's like this, but at that time, I could bend it all the way past down to my wrist. And so they had told me we can let it heal on its own, and that would take, you know, about a month or so, or you can get the surgery and be back in about 3 to 4 weeks. So in my mind, I thought, you know, which situation could help me be on the field as quick as possible. They told me the surgery would probably help, and they also said that the surgery would help me long term as well. You know, they said if I let it heal on its own, I might have some arthritis problems later on in my career and things like that. So ended up getting the surgery Monday morning. They ended up telling me the surgery went well, but they didn't want to rush me, obviously, because I was a third quarterback at the time. So they were telling me that, you know, Southern Miss game would be a great opportunity for me to get back out there, which was the second to last game of the season. You know, I respect, you know, the opinions of the doctors, but in my mind, I was like, screw that, you know. So I did the rehab I had to do at school, and then I would go home and take matters into my own hands, you know, doing rice bucket, having a bucket of ice next to my bed, just having my hand in the ice just so the swelling can go down, setting alarms on my phone to wake me up every 2 hours when I'm asleep so I can do my thumb exercises to get the mobility back. And so they had told me, they was like, if you're able to touch all of your fingers in 2 weeks, we'll let you start throwing the ball. They told me that the next day I came in moving my fingers pretty well. And so for what was supposed to be a couple of weeks, only was 10 days. And so thankfully, you know, it came just in time where we had a bye week, so I actually didn't miss a game at all. I was available throughout the whole season. And that was just willpower, man. Like I knew that if I was going to have an opportunity to play, like there was nothing that was going to stop me from sitting out. You know, this is something that I do. This is something that I love. So I just wanted to do whatever I could to make sure I had that opportunity if it was given to me. And thankfully, it was given to me. I was able to play in the Kentucky game in the fourth quarter, did some good things, did some other things that I was able to learn from. And now that I look back and watch that game on film, I just look at how much I've grown as a player, as a quarterback, and the decisions that I would have made if I was ever in that situation again, and, you know, not forcing passes and getting down to my check down, or, you know, not taking an unnecessary hit, or making sure I'm outside the pocket before I throw the ball out of bounds. Just things like that that I learned that game. And so the next week, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. Just told myself, you know, that night after the Kentucky game that whatever was next, that I was going to be prepared. And so Monday morning we came in and, you know, we had meetings. I was able to meet with the offensive coordinator, and he told me that the plan was for me to start against Texas A&M on the road. And so extremely thankful for the opportunity, and I was super excited. And so that whole entire week, I made sure I did whatever I could to make sure that I knew my job and was able to know my job so I can go out there and execute at a high level. I feel like we had a great week of practice. I understood the game plan, and, you know, I feel like it was a great opportunity for me. And so, like I said, great week of practice. We were able to get down there and things like that. And, you know, it didn't go as planned. You know, my first drive out there, I ended up throwing an interception. Second drive, we ended up getting stopped on like third and short, had to punt. And then not too long after that, I ended up throwing another interception. And then in the blink of an eye, we're down a couple of points and I'm getting benched. And so definitely a learning moment for me. You know, I feel like on my first interception, I was late. My second interception, I feel like I could have placed the ball in a better position with man coverage. And so I was back on the sideline, you know, and for a young quarterback, it can be tough, you know. But I always told myself that, man, you know, God has the pen. So I just made sure I was staying ready. I was encouraging my teammates, you know, because at the end of the day, I want to win, you know. And so the game went on, and, not much was clicking for us offensively. We were struggling. Texas A&M had a really good team, a really good D-line. Most of those guys are either declared for the draft this year or already in the NFL. And so got an opportunity that, the guy I was benched by, he went in and got banged up a little bit, and I was able to go back in the game. Well, my first pass back in the game was an interception. Again, slant and go, sluggo, threw the ball and a little bit too far outside, and it got picked off. And so it's like, man, this is not how I expected it to be.
Right.
You dream of opportunities like this, Kyle Field, 100,000+ fans, night game, extremely loud, the towels waving on the road. For it to go the way it did, that's not something that I ever expected, especially with all the work that I put in. But at the same time, like, this position is hard, man. Like, it's hard. We've had our talks and things like that, man, and it's like, regardless of, the work you've put in and things like that, man, like, sometimes it just don't shake out the way you thought it would. And so I was able to finish out the game. Not much success came from that game. We ended up losing pretty bad, man. And, I remember at the time just feeling embarrassed. Felt like my hard work didn't pay off. I had did so much to get to that opportunity. And for it to go the way it did, like, it really hurt me. And I felt like I was in a dark place for a long time. And thankfully, people like my pops and you and other mentors that I have in my life, they were able to pick me up during that time, And, I didn't get a chance to play after that for the rest of the season. The starting quarterback, he was able to come back the next week. Shoot, even our head coach got fired after that game. So a lot had changed after that game, man, and it was tough for a while, man. It was tough, just trying my hardest to stay locked in and, just understand it like it's in the past now and all we can do is just move forward. And so it was difficult, man, but, I've learned a lot from that situation. I've grown a lot. I go back and watch the game, just seeing where I could have been better. And, I sometimes smile because I know I'm not even the same quarterback anymore. Like, I'm definitely way better, way smarter now. And so, things like that I feel like I needed to go through. I needed that. And all the adversity I've been through, man, I feel like it was put in my life for a reason. And so I feel like everything that has happened over these past 2 years, man, it's definitely, building me and molding me into something greater. And something I'm going to be excited to look at, whenever I look at the film and go over the tape. So,
yeah. So just, from an experience standpoint, that adversity and, we go through things a lot. It never stops.
Facts.
I feel like, we just get better at managing it.
No doubt.
Better at getting through it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I agree with you. That was super necessary for you to go through,
Yeah.
some of the things that happened up in the week of preparation, pregame that, we definitely learned from.
No doubt.
And now in Mississippi State's in hindsight, you just signed to Austin Peay.
Yep.
With a great opportunity, to get back up to that level.
Yep.
Where you want to be. Great opportunity to lead.
Yep.
Great opportunity to be in a position to where, like, you're one of the only guys that has had experience at a high level of playing ball. So it's a great opportunity for you to spread that throughout the locker room.
No doubt.
And even the coaching staff.
No doubt.
I want to bring it all the way back. I want to bring it back to freshman year of high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we didn't know each other. But I was definitely doing my part of reaching out to you. Didn't work out in that manner, and that just goes to show you how God works in mysterious ways. Because we ended up meeting a couple years after,
No doubt.
and developing a great relationship and even better friendship.
No doubt.
So just take me back to freshman year. You're at Duncanville High School. Where you had some success and you also had some adversity.
Yep, no doubt. So, obviously, Duncanville, a big-time program here in Texas, a 6A program who has won a lot of games, prestigious head coach. And we were a really good team, man. I was the backup. I was backing up a quarterback by the name of Jaquindon Jackson, who transitioned to running back in college and is not declaring for the draft. He had a really good year this year at Arkansas, and so you know, our team was loaded, man. We had so many D1 players on the team, man. That, you know, a lot of our games were already won in the first half. So we'll go into halftime blowing teams out by so many points that, you know, I was able to start the second half and the majority of the game. So I was able to get playing time and get used to high school ball, you know, coming from middle school.
Valuable experience.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so yeah, it was smooth, man. You know, we winning a whole lot of games, man, and you know, being able to play for such a high-level team with great players and things like that, man, it was really special and a time in my life that I really enjoyed. And then we get to the playoffs, and first playoff game, I'm able to similar situation, you know, where we're blowing the team out, and I get to play majority of the second half. Second round, we play Arlington Martin, who had a really good team that year, and I don't play at all. You know, it's a real close game. My guy JJ, he's balling, doing his thing. And then the third week, we play another really good team, and I don't play as much as I you know had played normally throughout the year. And then we get to the fourth round, we're playing South Lake Carroll, really good team with Quinn Ewers at the time, and really good game. Obviously, I didn't play, so I'm just telling myself, like, just stay ready. Like, you know, you never know. Like, you never know what can happen. That's something my dad has always taught me. Like, you never know. You never know what's going to happen in this game, man. And so, fifth round, we're playing Rockwall. Really good team. Jackson Smith McJigba was on that team.
Yeah.
And we're coming out hot early. We're winning by, you know what I'm saying, a lot of points. It's looking really good for us. You know, we jumped out early, had a good start. And then unfortunately in the second quarter, my guy JJ gets hurt. Hurts his knee, gets hit. I believe his leg got caught in the turf. And I remember him getting tackled, man. He was such a dynamic player that, like, every time he got tackled, he was either running through somebody or he was always falling forward. And I remember he got hit, and normally, you know, he always got back up, and he didn't get up. And so I remember just being on the sideline and thinking to myself, like, get up, JJ. And then he wasn't getting up, and I was like, it's time. It's unfortunate that happened to him, because that was my brother. Me and him are still close to this day. But I knew that, you know, at that point, you know, I had to step up, you know, and big-time playoff game. And, you know, kind of like what you said with the adversity, my first couple of drives weren't really the best, you know. Struggled a little bit, took some sacks, and, you know, got hit, fumbled one time, was able to recover it, but we lost a couple of yards, and we were able to go into halftime, and I just had to regroup. You know, my teammates, they all believed in me. They knew what I could do. I believe the coaching staff believed in me as well. And so came out in the second half, and, you know, although Rockwall was a really good team, I was able to find myself in that game and get a little comfortable, and I was able to throw a touchdown and run a touchdown. And similar to like how it was in college, my freshman year, I had a week to prepare for the state championship game. And North Shore was a really good team. Was able to go out there and, you know, big time game for me just being 15 years old, man. I was extremely excited. Prepared very well throughout the week. We had a really good week of practice, and you know, going into that game, man, I was thankful for the opportunity. And, you know, we came out swinging. You know, it felt like touchdown. And then we ended up going into halftime tied at 17-17. And so did a lot of things in the first half to win the game, but it's a four-quarter game, you know that. And so coming out in the second half, you know, just me just thinking back on the game, like it's a lot of things that, you know, knowing that what I know now, you know, I would have handled certain things differently, you know. Ball security, you know, I had a big fumble that was 100% on me in the game that kind of, you know, changed the game and had a momentum swing. A couple sacks that I took just holding the ball, you know what I mean, and not being decisive and getting the ball out of my hands or understanding, you know, where my hots were and things like that. And so we ended up losing, man. It was 31-17, really good game, but we just didn't finish in the second half. And, you know, being a quarterback, I take a lot of responsibility for that. And it was tough, you know, because we had a really good team, and, you know, we hadn't lost a game all year. And, you know, for our first loss to come to the state championship game, my first start, it was difficult, you know, because, you know, a lot of people will look at, you know, the good that I did, but I feel like I'm my biggest critic. And I know for a fact that, you know, if I would have did certain things differently or performed better in that second half, that we could have had a state championship. And so, again, it's just moments like that who, you know, looking back at it, man, I'm glad I went through it. I'm thankful I went through it, man, because I understand that, you know, God has put all that in my life for a reason. And so, but yeah, my time at Duncanville was a very fun experience. I got to play with some great players, and it's even fun now, you know, turning on the TV and seeing my teammates from Duncanville, you know, make plays in college and some are even in the NFL now, you know. So, but yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, fast forward, you leave Texas, you move to Tennessee to attend Ravenwood High School.
Yep.
Where junior year, you have a super successful year.
Yep.
And then you go into senior year where you tear your ACL.
Yep.
Just kind of talk us through that, the you know, the adversity that comes with that, and you know, how that has prepared you for your opportunities to come.
Yeah. So, sophomore year, ended up leaving Texas, like you said, moving back to Nashville. I had lived in Nashville for a very long time when I was younger. And so I literally moved back to the same town with the same friends that I played Little League ball with. So it was definitely a full circle moment. And, you know, junior year had a lot of success, won a lot of games. It was fun, man. I got to play with my friends again and things like that. So it was great, man. And, you know, we ended up losing in the playoffs. But it was in everyone's head that, you know, we continue to do things the right way, man, and work hard this offseason. We'll be playing for a state championship our senior year.
Right.
And so started the year off, lost the first game of the season. But then after that, man, we got on the roll, man. We were playing some really good football, man. We had a lot of chemistry, you know, being with each other for 2 years now on the high school level. And we get to around mid-season, 6th or 7th game in the season. And, you know, game's going great. Had threw a couple of touchdowns, had a 60-yard run in like the third quarter, and then the next play I'm scrambling, and I go to make a move, a cut that I've made thousands of times, a cut that I don't even think about in the game. It's just avoiding a defender, and I just felt my knee buckle. I felt, you know, as if, you know, for everything from like my thigh and up go forward, and everything below my thigh stay stuck in the turf, and I felt the pop, and it's something I had never felt before. So when I hit the ground, in my head, I was just like, there's no way this just happened, like no way. And then I was able to get up, and my leg just felt super loose, as if like I had no control over my right leg. It was super loose. I knew something was wrong. And so I knew I wasn't gonna be able to, if I had to scramble again the next play, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to. So I remember being down on the field, and they coming to check me out, you know, touching my knee and trying to see what's going on, man. And I just remember them being like, all right, let's go get the cart. I was like, hell no. My dad has always taught me, you never, if it's in your will and you can, jog off the field. Don't never let nobody carry you off the field. And so I remember jogging off the field, thinking I'm fine, trying to do high knees, but it still didn't feel right. And so the doctor ended up, you know, messing with my knee a little bit more, and he told me, you know, we're just gonna sit you out for the rest of this game. We fear that you might have tore your ACL. And I remember just being like, there's no way. There's just no way. Like, we have a really good team this year, man. I've been playing great ball. It's my second year in the system. You know, everything just felt so right. We had a really good team. Like, there's no way my knee could be messed up. We're going to go play for a state championship, you know? And I ended up getting an MRI the next day, and it was confirmed that I had tore my ACL and my meniscus, man. And it was really tough for me, man. It hurt me, man, because, you know, even looking back at it now, man, like, the most funnest times in your life are going to be playing high school ball with your friends, especially the friends that you grew up with. And so that sucked big time. But like I said, it goes back to just dealing with the adversity, man. Like, it's the way God wanted it to be. Like, I can't sit here and say I'm a man of faith and then sit here and wish and hope things would have been differently. If it's not what God wanted, then it's just not what God wanted. And so the only thing that I can really remember that was really my motivation was when they told me that I tore my ACL. They told me that obviously the season was over for me, but they was like, you know, spring ball at college might not be a possibility either. And so it kind of went back to me just having willpower, man, like being smart, but also just working as hard as I could in my rehab in Tennessee, and then also working hard as I could in my rehab once I got to Mississippi State to make sure that I was able to go out there and perform spring ball. And, you know, by the grace of God, I was able to get back healthy in time for spring ball, and I was able to perform my freshman year in college. And so, although it was a rough patch in my career and, you know, things didn't go the way I wanted them to go, God just gave me a sense that everything was going to be all right. And then, you know, I was able to be healthy. I even came down here during our break in the summertime and got some good work in here with Luke and working with you, getting back to myself, and, you know, ended up leading to me getting some playing time my freshman year. So definitely was tough, you know, getting hurt my senior year of high school, man, because I love my teammates, man. Like, we all still boys to this day, and I wish we could have finished the job. And, you know, me and my high school head coach, we had a really great relationship, and, you know, he was a guy that really, you know, had my best interest, man, and really loved me, man. And we had a great bond, and so I really wanted to win a state championship with him, but, you know, that's not what God had in the plans, you know, but it's all good. You know, I'm steady working, I'm steady grinding, man. And like we said, man, all the adversity that I've been through in my career, I know it's leading me for something greater. So that should just give me a sense of excitement, because I know it's a lot more to come in my career. So
yeah. And you mentioned Luke, and we're here sitting in his clinic right now.
Yep.
Where he treats a ton of athletes like yourself who's going through injury, and some who haven't gone through injury who just want to get a casual workout, man. Like, tell us just, you know, how Luke was able to help you.
Yeah.
You got down here.
Yeah.
You know, he specializes in this. He's one of the best,
No doubt.
in the world with the rehab, with
Facts.
functional movements, especially for us, the arm care, the rotational movements. Just tell us, you know, the progress you were able to make when you got here.
No doubt. Yeah. So, you know, normally for ACL, it's a 9-month process for most athletes, and, you know, from the first time I met Luke, I was entering like my 8th month, so I was almost near the end. But coming down here and working with him, man, was the best thing I could have done for my career, man, because I felt like going into it, I didn't have that much confidence in my knee just yet. But being down here and working with him, man, strengthening my knee, man, the tools that he used on me during that time, you know, to just help me get my strength back, to get my confidence back. It did wonders, man. Like, I remember, you know, not being so sure about jumping. And then he'll bring me here, and he'll have the same boxes we're sitting on right now, just telling me to jump. And I'm like, I haven't really jumped that high. And he's like, screw that, go, you know? And so it helped me out a lot, man. I remember my body transforming. I remember, you know, obviously not being able to run as much during my rehab and feeling out of shape. Well, when I was here that month, by the time I left, you remember, man, I was feeling great going into the summer at Mississippi State. And so definitely thankful that I was able to meet Luke, man, and work with him, man. And, you know, every time I come down here, whenever I have a break, I make sure that I'm training with you, and then I'm working with him at his place. And so, you know, this is nothing new for me. I've been here almost every day since I've been here, if not every other day. And so, yeah, extremely thankful for Luke and his staff, man. And, you know, even though I'm not injured now, I still come back in here, man, just to continue to keep getting better, getting stronger, getting in great shape, working hard, and becoming the best version of myself, you know, as a quarterback. And so it's been important for me, man, you know, in my journey, you know, just making sure, you know, I'm around people that help me grow and help me become the best version of myself. And so I can definitely say that since I've been working with Luke, I've seen that. So, yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Dr. Luke, Luke Miller. You know, I use him as a tool for the quarterbacks that I work with, and he's been a great asset to our team. And we definitely appreciate him.
No doubt.
So now that you're on your next adventure in life, like the next phase of your career, what are some of the goals you have set for this year?
Yeah, so as far as individual goals, as far as like stats, I really don't have any. You know, my main focus for this year, man, is being a great leader, being a great teammate, putting great film on tape, and winning games. I think that's important, man. As a quarterback, man, I really want to come here and I want to win games. And so I know in order to win games, there's a certain criteria, man. We gotta perform at a very high level. We gotta have great chemistry. We gotta play for one another, man. And you know, I'm excited to get there in a couple of weeks, man, and begin that process. I trust Coach Ferris, quarterback coach, Coach Billerman. Those are guys that have known me ever since I was that 15-year-old kid playing at Dungeonville. And so I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity, man. I've been able to connect with my teammates, the offensive line, the receivers. Had my guy Tay come catch at our session yesterday. And so my main goal, man, is to come in, man, work hard, earn the trust of my teammates, be the best teammate I can be a great leader, and do whatever I can to help this team win games. So those are my goals going into this season, man. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure we fulfill those goals. So yeah.
There you have it. Episode 4, QB Lifestyle. Chris, man, I appreciate you again.
Yeah, man, appreciate you
coming through. You know, I know you have a busy schedule. I know you got things to do today, so we don't take that for granted, man. And you know, good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'll be there with you every step of the way.
100%.
We got a lot of work to do.
No doubt.
Before the season starts, so I'm excited about that.
Facts.
Excited to see you get back out there, lead a team, and get back to where you want to be, man.
No doubt.
We appreciate you.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Ski. There we go. Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned Luke, and we're here sitting in his clinic right now.
Yep.
Where he treats a ton of athletes like yourself who's going through injury and some who haven't gone through injury who just want to get a casual workout, man. Like, tell us just, you know, how Luke was able to help you.
Yeah.
You got down here.
Yeah.
You know, he specializes in this. He's one of the best,
No doubt.
in the world with the rehab, with
Facts.
functional movements, especially for us, the arm care, the
Yeah.
rotational movements. Just tell us, you know, the progress you were able to make when you got here.
No doubt. Yeah. So, you know, normally for ACL, it's a 9-month process for most athletes, and you know, from the first time I met Luke, I was entering like my 8th month, so I was almost near the end. But coming down here and working with him, man, was it was the best thing I could have done for my career, man, because I felt like going into it, I didn't have that much confidence in my knee just yet. But being down here and working with him, man, strengthening my knee, man, the tools that he used on me during that time, you know, to just help me get my strength back, to get my confidence back. It did wonders, man. Like I remember, you know, not being so sure about jumping. And then he'll bring me here and he'll have the same boxes we're sitting on right now, just telling me to jump. And I'm like, I haven't really jumped that high. And he's like, screw that, go, you know? And so it helped me out a lot, man. I remember my body transforming. I remember, you know, obviously not being able to run as much during my rehab and feeling out of shape. Well, when I was here that month, by the time I left, you remember, man, I was feeling great going into the summer at Mississippi State. And so definitely thankful that I was able to meet Luke, man, and work with him, man. And, you know, every time I come down here, whenever I have a break, I make sure that I'm training with you and then I'm working with him at his place. And so, you know, this is nothing new for me. I've been here almost every day since I've been here, if not every other day. And so, yeah, extremely thankful for Luke and his staff, man. And, you know, even though I'm not injured now, I still come back in here, man, just to continue to keep getting better, getting stronger, getting in great shape, working hard, and becoming the best version of myself, you know, as a quarterback. And so it's been important for me, man, you know, in my journey, you know, just making sure, you know, I'm around people that help me grow and help me become the best version of myself. And so I can definitely say that since I've been working with Luke, I've seen that. So, yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Dr. Luke, Dr. Luke Miller. You know, I use him as a tool for the quarterbacks that I work with. And he's been a great asset to our team. And we definitely appreciate him.
No doubt.
So now that you're on your next adventure in life, like the next phase of your career, what are some of the goals you have set for this year?
Yeah. So, as far as individual goals, as far as like stats, I really don't have any. You know, my main focus for this year, man, is being a great leader, being a great teammate, putting great film on tape, and winning games. I think that's important, man. As a quarterback, man, I really want to come here and I want to win games. And so I know in order to win games, there's a certain criteria, man. We gotta perform at a very high level. We gotta have great chemistry. We gotta play for one another, man. And you know, I'm excited to get there in a couple of weeks, man, and begin that process. I trust Coach Ferris, quarterback coach, Coach Billerman. Those are guys that have known me ever since I was that 15-year-old kid playing at Duncanville. And so extremely thankful for this opportunity, man. I've been able to connect with my teammates, the offensive line, the receivers. Had my guy Tay come catch at our session yesterday. And so my main goal, man, is to come in, man, work hard, earn the trust of my teammates, be the best teammate I can be a great leader, and do whatever I can to help this team win games. So those are my goals going into this season, man. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure we fulfill those goals. So yeah.
There you have it. Episode 4, QB Lifestyle. Chris, man, I appreciate you again.
Yeah, man, appreciate you
coming through. You know, I know you have a busy schedule. I know you got things to do today, so we don't take that for granted, man. And you know, good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'll be there with you every step of the way.
100%.
We got a lot of work to do,
No doubt.
before the season starts, so I'm excited about that.
Facts.
Excited to see you get back out there, lead a team, and get back to where you want to be, man.
No doubt.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. There we go. Oh, yeah.